Our enemy is a great teacher. Dalai Lama said that. Our enemy is a great teacher. Okay, so let's talk about our enemy. And let's describe their habits, their patterns, who they are, what they represent, so that we know how to oppose that enemy. All right, everybody ready? Here we go. I believe that there's a cultural war going on right now, right here in the United States. And in the history of the world, I think this is the biggest war that's ever happened. A cultural divide. There's us on one side. On the other side is mediocrity. I believe mediocrity is our biggest foe. It is our biggest enemy. We have a society and a culture of people and institutions that are committed to mediocrity. You and I oppose that. We have belief in human greatness, in being the best. What does the enemy have on their side? They have the airwaves. Right at the moment, they've got microphones, and they've got the airwaves. They've got the news media. They've got print media. They've got media as a whole. They've got Hollywood. They've got Washington, D.C. Everyone committed to mediocrity. They also are well-funded. Okay? So they've got all these advantages. They've got more people too. They've got bigger numbers than us. They've got bigger numbers. They've got more money. They've got the politicians. They've got Hollywood. They've got media on their side. What do we have on our side? What do we have? What does the best have? We have two things. Number one, we have nature. We have nature on our side. Our opponents are going against their nature. We have nature on our side. And number two, we're right. We're right. Why are we right? Because we're going with our nature. Our nature, the reason we were put on this earth, was to connect, was to procreate, was to run fast and hunt. We had to be the best, the fastest to survive. That is our nature. Anyone who doesn't believe in that and doesn't commit their life to that is disconnected from their own nature. They are disconnected from their own natural disposition. That is our enemy. Well-funded, big numbers, got the airwaves, but we have nature and we are right. So, when I look at people, I usually tell them this one thing. Your life, you're either living the life of your dreams, okay? So you're living the life of your dreams right now. Or you have reasons why you're not living the life of your dreams. So which camp are you in? You're living the life of your dreams, or you have reasons why you're not living the life of your dreams. So our side lives their dreams because they trust their raw animal instincts. So all their dreams come true, us. Our enemy points out the high achievers, points out whoever's number one, and they attack them and try to take them down. In fact, they even invent a language that's called political correctness. They invent this language, they invent terms that regulate and go against high achievers. Can you imagine that? Do you know how much energy it takes to be the best? It takes a lot of energy, right? A lot of perseverance, a lot of discipline. We train harder, we work harder, we believe, we dream, and we inspire. Think how much energy it takes to go against your own nature. You've got to create this world, and you've got to point out high achievers. You've got to point out greatness and give reasons to the world why you're not great. You've got to become a critic of your own world. Think how much energy that takes to do that. Twice as much energy as we're using. The best uses a lot of energy, but to be on the mediocrity side of the ledger, that team, they're using a lot more energy than we are. They're persistent because they've got to invent things when we're just going naturally with our nature. This is the world that we're creating. Our enemy is a great teacher. It's our best teacher. I want you to start recognizing this in your world. And I want you to start eliminating yourself from that culture. Because to lead, to be a true leader, you have to do what? You have to go counter to the culture. You have to go counter to the culture. So our culture is going in a certain direction. And they're committed to this direction of mediocrity. And it's somebody else's fault that you don't have the life that you live. We're not that way. We live the life of our dreams because we create it and we trust it. And we follow our own instincts. They got to use all their energy to create reasons why they're not living that life. I'm not burning that energy. They're going to have to either follow me or they're going to have to get out of my way. So they're going to have to choose. Same is true for you. This is the biggest cultural war ever seen by this earth. It is. And it is a fight to the death. And whoever's going to come through this baby, that's what our kids are going to live into. And our grandkids are going to live into the culture of mediocrity or our world, where we expect greatness, where we inspire each other, where we take each other to the highest standard. Not the medium, not below. You tell me right now, was anybody born in this world? Anybody? They grew up. Did they ever say this? Wow, you know what? I have dreams. You know, we're talking about a 4 or 5-year-old kid, 6-year-old kid. Mommy, Daddy, I have a dream to be average. Yeah, I'd like to be right there in the middle somewhere. I'd like to be kind of good, but not too good. Has any kid ever said that in the history of kids? Never. But that's how we treat them, and that's how we train them and indoctrinate them so that they can only expect to get to the middle. And that's about as high as we'll get. I am not having it. I hate that world. I don't want my kids to grow up in that. I want leaders, true leaders with scars who play on the right side, the natural side of culture. So we can go our way if we win this thing, or we can go mediocrity way if we lose this thing. You have to choose what side you're on. And if you're listening to me and you're watching me, pretty much know what side you're on. But you have to decide. You have to understand the enemy and what we're up against. They're big, right? But we're coming. There's this old proverb from, I think it's from Kenya, one of the countries in Africa. Oh, I wish I could remember it. But it goes like this. Until the lions learn to speak, we'll have to tell their stories for them. Until the lions speak, we'll have to tell their stories for them. Well, guess what? The lions have learned to speak. That's who we are. Predators, true predators, noble, trustworthy predators. That's who we are as humans. We trust it. We're not going to go the opposite direction. We are going to trust our instincts, which is to be the best. And we're going to train the others how to be that way, how to remember their own nature. That's who we are. That's all I'm interested in. The lions, us, have learned to speak. We have to take over the airways. We have to take over publishing. We have to take over the messages. We have to get on stages and we have to spread this word. And your word is the most powerful thing that you've got. Your story is your leadership muscle. You, how you got here, your vision of the world. Okay? That's what we're building here. That's what we're building. So commit to being the best. It's the only market out there that's not crowded. Everything else is a mess, crowded with pretenders and amateurs. Not interested in that. I'm interested in you and me creating this culture. So get out there and fight the good fight.